All right, music posse. Let's put a pause here and yes, Travis. Hey, Travis. Good morning to you again.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I'm doing well. A little bit of technical difficulties this morning, so hopefully that doesn't slow me down. That doesn't slow you down, but yeah, a little scrambling there just before we got started.
I can hear you just fine. Yeah, I can hear you. A little delayed, but you're fine.
All right. So, hey, audience members, this is our Travis and my second live stream with all of you in this episode of Buying That House. And by the way, in case you missed our first one, we are virtually flying into Costa Rica, where Travis spends most of his time sharing with us kind of the lifestyle that he's been able to curate for himself and his significant other. So, Travis, before we get into our topics today, I know when we finished our first episode last week, toward the end, when you and I were kind of doing the behind the scenes, you said, hey, Bill, I never got a chance to really share and drop. Why did we do this? So why don't you lead off with that first today?
Yeah, good point. I think last time we talked more or less why my clients were moving down here and what that scenario looked like. For us, I think it was, I'll call it the perfect storm. It was vacationing here enough to network with the locals, to understand a little bit more about the culture, understand the ease of travel here with regards to the time zone, being Central Time Zone. But for us, it was always, okay, let's retire to Costa Rica once we're given that opportunity. Like, let's pin that place as, okay, this could be a potential, place to retire. And then sitting in Chicago, which was awesome, loved our time there, but here comes COVID, right? And you can't do anything. Everyone's flocking to the lake, everyone's getting out of the city. So I think that kind of helped shape or form, like, okay, maybe it's not the worst time to leave the city while things, get figured out. Also, as I had mentioned, I was doing the startup in medical device. And after the last startup ended, it was either go back into another startup company or I don't want to say take a break, but pursue another opportunity. So my fiance, she works remote, so she can work from anywhere. So the writing was just kind of on the wall, and it was a chance to not wait until retirement to come down here. It was a chance to come down here now, enjoy the four-wheeling, enjoy the surfing, enjoy the stuff that we're going to do at this age, probably not at a retired age. So I'll call of wanting to get down here. COVID also, and then just the ability to come down here and work, remotely and find a new career that works out.
Yeah, I remember some of that when you and I first met, when you and I first connected, and now that you remind me and share with all of you watching today's live stream. Yes, all of you watching today's live stream. It makes a lot more sense. It was like the alignment of those events that told you and your significant other, let's do it now. Let's not wait. And more importantly, lifestyle, when real estate is a part of it, it's all about doing it now, holding it for what time will create as benefits for you, right?
Correct, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. So talk to me about this. You've been there now, 3 going on 4 years. Talk to us about what has changed, and describe the persona of the new second home buyer today in Costa Rica. Who are they? Where are they coming from?
Yeah, who are they? Where they're coming from? Most of my clients are from the United States. To be more specific, I'm seeing a lot of Denver, Colorado. I'm seeing a lot of Houston, Texas, Austin, Texas, Miami, Orlando, Charlotte. And if you look at all the places I listed, it's the ease of flight. It's a lot of direct flights, one-way flights into San Jose. So like I said, we're on Central Time Zone, so a lot of people can come here remotely, and that is what I'm seeing. Some of these people who are able to work remote will come down here for significant periods of time to work remote. But for the most part, also Canadian buyers. Toronto seems to be the hot spot where most of the country lives, but a lot of people from Toronto coming down. I find out with the Canadians, it seems to be more 6 on, 6 off, whereas in the States a client from the States will be more use a rental vacation maybe once or twice a week.
Really?
So a little bit differences in kind of what I'm seeing. But I would say the modern, the more current buyer in this market is looking for more of a lifestyle investment. That term is thrown out quite a bit, but what does it really mean? It's yes, caring about the short-term rental numbers and making enough to cover your cost. We already talked about on the last episode, property taxes are 0.25% of the appraised value. So your holding costs are extremely low when you factor in your property tax. So for example, I'm working with clients right now who are trying to find that lifestyle home or condo. And it's somewhere that first and foremost, they want to be. They want to use it when they're here. It's up to their standards. It's nice enough, whether it's, modern enough, however they want to enjoy it. That's first and foremost in their mind. And they want to make sure when family comes, they enjoy it. Friends come, they enjoy it. But then on the flip side, yes, if they can do a short-term rental for X amount of occupancy for X amount dollar rate per night and pay back their holding costs, then it's a win-win. Talk to your accountant, but a lot of times the travel down here, if it's an expense for business to check on your condo or your home, there's a lot of deductions that can be made throughout the year. Again, talk to your accountant about that one.
Yeah. I mean, what you dropped in the last episode a week ago, and again, you remind us, property taxes locally there for you in Costa Rica being 0.25% of the value. And if we use the median home price in the United States to be, close to 400K, 0.25, that's like $1,000. That's
$1,000
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Your biggest expense that you're going to pay back, honestly, is going to be your HOA, and that can be anywhere from $300 up to $1,000, depending on the age of the building, location of the building, and proximity to the beach. And then after that, it's going to be your electric costs. It's going to be you're running AC 24/7 here for the most part. So, I mean, you're going to have a fairly high electricity bill, again, especially on the beach where you're not really, running a cool breeze. It's very, very hot on the beach. And then as you go up more into the mountains, obviously the temperature drops quite a bit. So you can get a cross breeze, and that's really where you can save some money.
Okay.
But yeah, the taxes here are the least of the concern. I mean, it's kind of a joke. Yeah. It's great. It's great.
Yeah. Do you see a lot of these buyers who you have helped, maybe yourself included, are they claiming their Costa Rican property as a second home, or have they flipped the script and said, you know what, let's make that our primary home, and wherever we live in the US, that's our second home? Have you seen some of that?
50-50, and honestly, I'm surprised it's not the latter of what you said, but I see a lot of people that are moving here, and it's okay, how long, how long are you going to stay? Is it going to be your home in the States that you're going back to? And it's no, we're selling it all. We're selling our house, we're selling our cars, we're selling it all, and Costa Rica is going to be our primary residence. Wow. So I would say that's about 50% of the clients. The others, I would say, maintain a home in the States, whether it be a condo, something where, there's a mailing address and they still have their banking investments in the States.
Sure. Now, you haven't completely flip that script for yourself personally? Have you made Costa Rica, would you say, your primary home for lifestyle reasons, tax reasons, and otherwise?
I have an accountant in the States and down here who work very closely together. But for the
Okay.
most part, Costa Rica throughout the years, 10 months here. And then we do have a residence back in the States that we come back to during the summer months, obviously, when it's enjoyable. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's been pretty religious over the last three years, 10 months here, 2 months back. And even when I'm back, it's not much is changing. I'm setting up shop in the States and I'm taking calls. I'm, online remote, talking to you, talking to clients, doing whatever I would normally do if I was here.
Yeah.
Luckily, as you probably know in the States, a lot of times you don't have to be at the closing for a real estate agent. So as long as I know I'm going to be out of town, I can make sure everything's set up to the point where, I'm just zooming in to say hi for the most part. Congratulations.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that. There was a lot of that during COVID, and there's still some of that these days, right?
Yeah.
It's
A lot of
finding
times,
this.
a lot of times my clients don't even have to be here. So one of the beauties with being able to close remote is once you're here in Costa Rica and you're looking at property and you're serious about it, but you're not purchasing right away, you can do a power of attorney with an
Yeah,
attorney who's got limited authority, but they can close on your behalf. So
right,
that's,
right.
several closing where our clients are in Colorado or Miami and, they're closing, but they're not really present at any closing table.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, I remember reading in your social feed recently, you helped a client, did something kind of interesting. This client bought, with your help, land, from what I read and remember, land so that he, she, or they can construct, build like storage facilities.
Exactly.
Right. So when I read that, I'm like, wow, if that client of Travis is forward thinking, visionary enough to see that I need to do this today, he probably is seeing a potential demand for people needing to store their personal assets, their luxury stuff, whatever it is, away from, the beachfront condo, because, there's only so much space, right?
Bingo. Yeah. People with cars that live here, they don't have a place to park it. So sometimes they'll go back to San Jose to park a car while they're away. Now they have
Right.
the option of not having to drive here. They can just put their car simply in storage and then rely on transportation to get them to and from. Also, there's a marina close by, so it's going to be climate
Okay.
controlled and probably enough room for dry storage for boats. But yeah, anything from furniture to, you name it, cars, anything that valuables that you don't even want to leave at your condo on the beach while you go away, just because, maybe mold issues or issues with the air conditioner. But yeah, definitely an unmet need. There aren't really any storage facilities here. And where we live, which is Jaco Beach, it's one of the busiest, most expat, kind of friendly places where a lot of people are moving to, a lot of people are moving out of at the same time. So there's just a need for that furniture to be stored
Okay.
like in a climate controlled area.
Okay.
But yeah, they got a nice piece of land. It's right off the highway, so they can do a lot of heavy advertising, which I know they're planning to do. And the group who's doing this has a lot of experience in the state, so it's not like they're just rolling the dice on
Yeah.
storage in Costa Rica. It's copying what's already working. So I'm excited for them, though. This is, I've been listening to podcasts for years and years and years about business ideas, and this is always one that comes up in the top three. Would be, a legit climate control storage facility.
Yeah. If you might remember when you were living more full time in Chicago, just outside of, let's say, downtown Chicago, there's a ton of storage facilities. So I think, from the sound of it, there is a need, there's a play here for that client.
I think so. I mean, I use storage facilities in Chicago mainly for work, but that just goes to show, for 5 years I was in River North, I didn't have storage facilities. So sometimes even with capital equipment devices I was, selling, they would have to be parked in a storage facility. So yeah, I got to know that business pretty well from that side of it, and I know it can be lucrative based on what I was paying.
Yeah, I hear you. So, what should potential buyers who want to follow in your wake, draft in your wake, and kind of like mirror what you and your significant other are doing? What should they look for? How should they prepare for this next chapter in front of them?
You mean if they were to move down here like full time, or just kind of
Yeah,
secondary
full time,
homeowners?
maybe 6 on, 6 off, or even like you, 10 months, 10 months there in Costa Rica, and then 2 months back in the mainland.
I would say honestly, and it's a boring answer, but do your homework. We didn't just move. We didn't just pick up the next day and move. It was okay. Where do we want to be? Where have we been? It was scouting trips down here. It was looking at different projects, real estate, networking with local agents. So do your homework, figure out where you want to be. You know, I have a lot of people that have never been to Jaco before, and yet they're talking to me as if they're going to purchase tomorrow, sight unseen, and slow your roll.
Slow down.
Find out where you want to be, but come down here. Like, I don't want to sell you a place when you've never even walked the beach here. Or, you know, if it's a straight up investor that's looking for, you know, X% of return, I can give them that, great. But for the most part, I want to make sure it fits them. And it goes back to what we said before. It's a lifestyle investment. Is this somewhere that you personally want to be or could see yourself living, whether it's 2 months, whether it's 6 months, whether it's 10 months, whether it's full time?
Yeah, I hear you.
And then secondarily, I think find out where you want to be. Are you a beach person or are you a mountain person? I love proximity to the beach, but like a lot of people's story, when you move here, you kind of start gravitating up more towards the cooler climates with an ocean view. But you know, so find out where you want to be. And that really, really makes sense, because like if you're going to be renting for 6 months of the year, even though maybe you like being up in the mountains and you're off the grid, how many renters eyeballs are you going to get on that property? So it's a fine line to walk with a lifestyle investment. You know, you can get too investy with it, or you can get too lifestyle with it, and the two aren't meeting in the middle. So a property that you enjoy, but if your goal is to rent it, you certainly need to make sure it's in an area where it's going to be attractive to a lot of people looking, like on Airbnb or Vrbo.
Sure. It's striking as close to that 50-50 balance between lifestyle and income generation, right?
I think I said it last time, like the best property is the property that makes you money and also makes you the memories. So I mean, it's if you can wrap those two things into one, that's all you need. And you know, you're going to enjoy it, you're going to rent it, you're going to cover your cost, and you're going to be sitting on hopefully a lot of appreciation and equity, you know, in 5-10 years, whenever it's time to sell, if that person decides they want to.
Let me pivot and change the conversation to this topic. Now that you have adjusted your lifestyle to be more in Costa Rica, has your taste for food, for comida, has that changed? I'm curious.
It has quite a bit. The fruit here is unbelievable. Casadas are their main dish. It's a protein. So normally I go with fish, and then it's beans and rice, fried plantain. I mean, that's what you're getting pretty much every lunch if you're going out and eating at a local soda, which is a local restaurant here. Fish, I'm eating way more fish than I ever have. I would just say, a lot healthier.
A lot healthier. Got it.
Some of that's by design and, you know, by choice, but no, the access you have, like to the mangoes, to the fruit. I mean, it's the pineapple's best in the world. I mean, hands down.
Yeah, fruit is probably something you can get so much more readily, so much more fresh, readily ripe, as opposed to all of us here in the U.S. that have to wait for it to be imported and showing up at the local grocery store.
Well, we import everything else, so I would say we're even.
So you don't miss the good old steak and burger, huh? Not as much?
You know, I do. It's just when you drive around, you see the cattle here, it's a whole different world. But there are some nice Argentine steakhouses in town. So, and, you know, in San Jose, where there's more of a restaurant, you know, vibe, you can definitely find good steak there. But we mainly stick to our fish and fruit.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, that sounds very healthy. So, audience members, as Travis and I wrap up today's second live stream episode of Buying That House, talking about lifestyle, living the lifestyle that you probably want in Costa Rica, your thinking is this: hey, I heard what I heard from Travis, which is slow your roll, do your homework, and I'm going to add one more little pillar to that. Lean on someone local to help you, and that would be you, Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not me, I can tell you where to go. Like I think you and I talked about it before. Like when I go to the bank, I have someone go with me, like a local, because you need the help. So if I can't help you, I can definitely refer or direct you to the right person who can. And that can be opening a bank account. That can be becoming, help with becoming a citizen here, a resident. So.
Yeah. So there you have it. So if it's not Travis himself that can help you, he's got his people. He's got his posse. So as we wrap up today's live stream of Buying That House, your thinking is, I love this vibe and I see this vision for myself following in Travis's wake. How can I get in touch with him? Well, pretty easy. You can certainly Google search him. He does have a YouTube channel. If that doesn't work for you, feel free to do this. I'm going to try to load up a QR code here, and this is the tech problem today. Let me see if it shows up. There we go. Scan the QR code that you see here, and yours truly, I'll be glad to connect you through a warm introduction to Travis so that you can do your homework and get to your next chapter in the most efficient and productive way as possible. So Travis, peace out, brother. Have a good rest of your week. Music Posse, let's play us out. Here we go.